this lesson, we're going to be graphing lines using a table. So before we actually go through that process, it's important to understand that lines consist of an infinite number of points. And you always need at least 2 points to define a line. Each point has a specific location on the coordinate plane called a coordinate. Now, each coordinate has 2 parts. The coordinate is going to give us a location on that coordinate plane, so we need to know what is the horizontal location of that point and what is the vertical location of the point. The first number always tells us what the horizontal location is of the point. So the x-coordinate lets us know where on that coordinate plane horizontally to the left or to the right of the y-axis that point is located. And then the y-coordinate, the second number in a coordinate, that tells us the vertical location of the point. How many units away above the x-axis or how many units below the x-axis the point is. Now, to identify the coordinates of points on a line, you're going to substitute the values for the x-coordinate, which is the independent variable, and then you're going to calculate the corresponding y-coordinate, which is referred to as the dependent variable. First example, we have the equation of this line, and we're given coordinates, values for the x-coordinates, so we're going to plug those values into the equation to determine the corresponding y-coordinates. So when I plug in -2 into the equation, 2 times -2 is -4, and -4 plus 2 is -2. When I plug in -1, I get 2 times -1, which is -2. -2 plus 2 is 0. When I plug in 0, 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 2 is 0. I'm sorry, 0 plus 2 is 2. And then when I plug in 1, I get 2 times 1 plus 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. So now I have 4 coordinates. The first coordinate is -2, -2. -1, 0 is the second coordinate. 0, 2 is the third coordinate. And 1, 4 is the fourth coordinate. So that is where -2 is located. 2 units to the left, 2 units down. -1, 0 is 1 unit to the left, 0 units up or down. The third coordinate is 0 units to the left or right, 2 units up. And then the fourth coordinate is 1 unit to the right, 4 units up. Draw a line through those. All those points should line up, and you should be able to draw a line through all those points that fall on the line. Next example, and do the same thing. We're given a linear equation, and we're given values of x to substitute in for x in our linear equation. So when we substitute in the -1 for x, we get -3 times -1, which is 3. When we substitute in the 0, we get -3 times 0, which is 0. When we substitute in 1, we get -3 times 1, which is -3. And then when we substitute in 2, we get -3 times 2, which is -6. All right, so we want to plot all 4 of these coordinates. The first coordinate is -1, 3, which is 1 unit to the left, 3 units up. The next coordinate is 0, 0, which is at the origin, 0, 0. Third coordinate is at 1, -3, 1 unit to the right, 3 units down. And the last coordinate is at 2, -6, 2 units to the right, 6 units down. And as you can see, all those points line up. Draw a line through the points, and we are done. And the last example. Now we're going to come up with our own x values, and we're going to, if you have a fraction in front of your x, you want to choose positive or negative multiples of the denominator. Again, if you have a fraction in front of your x, and you have to choose values to come up with for your x, you want to choose values that are multiples of the denominator of the fraction. That way you'll get whole numbers whenever you calculate the corresponding y values. All right, so I'm going to choose -4. -4 is a multiple of 2. -2 is a multiple of 2. 0 and 2 is also a multiple of 2. All right, so when I plug in the -4, I get half of -4, which is -2. -2 plus 4 is 2. When I plug in the -2, half of -2 is -1. -1 plus 4 is 3. When I plug in 0, half of 0 is 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. And when I plug in 2, half of 2 is 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. Graph these 4 coordinates. The first coordinate is -4, 2, which is 4 units to the left, 2 units up. Next coordinate is at -2, 3, 2 units to the left, 3 units up. Next coordinate at 0, 4, 0 units to the left or right, 4 units up. And the last coordinate is at 2, 5, 2 units to the right, 5 units up. All the points line up, draw a line through the points, and we're done.